Padlet is a great tool if you'd like students to comment on something you've posted or respond to a prompt. You can use the Login with Google button. Your students can also log in with Google. This site was approved within our privacy settings, so everyone can use their Google account to sign in. And once you get here, you can see you can join a Padlet. This is what students could do. You can also check out the gallery if you'd like to see more of what Padlet has to offer. And at the moment, you can create up to 8 different Padlets for free. I think typically it's 3, but during this time, you can create 5 extra ones for free. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new Padlet. And I wanted to show you a lot of the options, but also a lot of the key settings in Padlet. So you can choose any of these that you like. I'm going to go ahead and create a grid, but definitely check out some of the other possibilities there. And once you're inside, there's some basic settings you can check out here at the top, but I really want to get down to these lower ones. Attribution, you may want your students' names to automatically appear on the Padlet whenever they post. Most of the time, for most teachers, that's going to be the case, so you can track who is participating. But there may be times when you want people to be able to stay anonymous, so that's a key. Allowing students to comment on one another's post is another thing you can turn on or off. Reactions, Kathy Whalen just sent me one that she had created, and she had turned on, I think, what is the best option, which is the option for students to like other posts. Voting or starring really just lets students to give each other sort of grade-like options. So I don't know if you want students to be able to give each other a downvote or a low number of stars, but this idea that they can like each other seems like a good one to me. Just continuing down here, you can, if you're nervous about what your students are going to post, you can require that everything that is posted gets your approval, or you can also filter profanity if you're worried about that. Again, this might be something that's not really worth it because your students may, when they realize this is happening, type in bad words on purpose. But finally, I'm just going to click next, and you can see that's all there was. So I'm going to start posting. To post, you can either double click anywhere in the grid, or you saw the plus button down in the bottom right corner of the screen. So that's how you and students can post into a Padlet. When you are going to post, or when your students are going to post on a Padlet, I just wanted to show you how many options there were. First, of course, you have the basic title and text here, and you have some frequently used ways you can post a Padlet. But go ahead and make sure you click these 3 dots and check out all the different options Padlet provides. These are things that you might want to call your students' attention to, or maybe even require that they use some of these different tools when they are posting to a Padlet. Those options that I had to change the name or change the description, you could put your prompt right there in the Padlet. You could actually use this commenting feature to post a question or some sort of prompt. I would suggest, just because the grid might get crowded very quickly, I would suggest using this space to provide the prompt, or if it's a link to a video or whatever it is. Or of course, you could put the prompt in Google Classroom, where you might post the link to the Padlet. And that's really the last thing I want to show you is this share button. Well, you see remake, which you might want to use if you have a separate Padlet for each class. But the share button is where you can grab a link to paste into anything that you might send to students, or if you're using Google Classroom, you can just share it directly to Google Classroom. You're already logged into Google at this point, so this will just bring up a list of your Google Classrooms, and you can post directly into it. You may have noticed that there's also a settings button, so you can go back into that settings panel and change those whenever you need to. That's Padlet, of course. Get in touch with me if you have questions.